welcome to our first CAP competition of the year. We have a good one for you tonight. We have us 5 contestants that are going to be competing because we know that it is not enough to be able to walk that walk, but you got to talk that talk, and you got to be able to communicate effectively and let everyone know what the data is saying. And to do that, you got to be able to tell a story. Tell a story of the data so the business can understand what is going on and they can make better decisions. All right, so with that being said, for the next hour and a half, we are on fire tonight. We got 5 contestants. Coming up first is Helen. Helen, what are you going to be presenting for us?
Good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to present my most recent project, U.S. COVID-19 vaccination progress.
All right, COVID-19. I know we all just want that to go away for good, but let's see what the data's saying. All right, next up, we're going to have Safa. Safa, what are you going to be presenting for us this evening?
Yes, Ali. Today I will be presenting housing sales in London between 2002 and 2018.
All right, housing sales in London. For those of you trying to make that trip, you know, you can work from home now. You could be in London. I don't know about the time period, but, you know, minor details. All right, Bandana, we have you up next. What are you going to be presenting for us?
Hello, Ali. Today I'm presenting my dashboard, which is world suicide cases. The time frame I have taken is from 1985 to 2015.
World suicide. Oh my goodness. That should be a definitely interesting topic. All right. And then we have Josiah. Josiah, what are you going to be presenting for us this evening?
Today I'm going to be presenting the Los Angeles Police Department's violent crime analysis from 2010 to 2022.
All right. LAPD. That should be interesting. Hey, yo, Deji.
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone.
Say your name for me.
Ayodeji, you are right.
Okay. I have it in my head, but sometimes I don't know if the name I have in my head is how we're supposed to pronounce it. What are you going to be presenting for us this evening?
My project title is Wine Spa, which is red wine price regression in Spain from 2016 to 2021.
All right, fantastic. All right, so I told you guys we're gonna go down the line. We're gonna have all 5 of them present their project. Then we're gonna take a poll. Everyone gets to vote for their top winner, okay? And then we're going to end it off there. The top winner will get a gift card, and then the top 3 people will get to present at our data talent showcase on the last Thursday of every month. And they will get to present in front of hiring managers. So again, your vote goes a long way at presenting the top 3, which will move on to our data talent showcase at the end of the month. Special shout out to Arisama. She just got an offer last week, so kudos to her. I see her screen, but I don't see her. But if you want to send her a little message, there she go. Send her a little message. Congratulations. She is now a Power BI specialist. Okay. So we're not mad at you for that. Special congratulations in order for that. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and crank this thing up. But you know how we do. We got to get our mind right. We got to get a little music going, get us in the mood. You know what? I forgot to test out the crowd. Y'all know I can't do this on my own. All right, I need to feel the energy in the room, okay? So everybody know what to do. Put your right finger in the air. I want to see that right pointy finger in the air right now. Put it towards your camera. I need to see it. All right. Now, everybody, take yourselves off of mute and give me a woo, woo.
Woo,
Hey, y'all, that sounds like a 2022 whoop whoop. Okay, we in 2023 now. I need y'all to do a little bit better than that. Can I get a little bit better than that? Everybody, take yourselves off of mute and give me a woo woo. All right, we can rock with that. All right, let's get this thing started. Okay, so Helen, you are first up, but when I stop playing the music, then that is signal to you to go ahead and share your screen and proceed with your presentation.
Jump in the Cadillac, girl, let's put some miles on it. Anything you want, just to put a smile on it. You deserve it, baby, you deserve it all. And I'm gonna give it to you.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. I am Helen Asfau, and I'm a Power BI developer. I'm here today to present my most recent project, US COVID-19 vaccination progress. First, let me give you an introduction of my project. Coronavirus or SARS-CoV-2 was discovered in December 2019 in Wuhan, China. This virus outbreak has been dramatically changed our lives and relationships over the past few years. As we all know, since the pandemic started, since its discovery, the virus has spread globally, causing millions of deaths. It had a wide impact on the lives of people around the world as well as the economy. Obviously, we all remember when the virus included social distancing, lockdown, isolation, and quarantine. Parents working at home were trapped indoors for weeks with their kids found the experience to be exhausting and overwhelming. The sudden change caused a high amount of stress to everyone. Many migrants were deprived of their work and daily income, had difficulties in returning to their places of their origin. The economic implications of the coronavirus on the US were going to be drastic. Because of this reason, more than 30 million Americans had filed for unemployment. Let me ask you this. Before the pandemic, did you ever had a difficulty time finding a toilet paper or hand sanitizer in a store or online? Well, the imbalance of supply and demand for products around the world had experienced tremendous movement. The COVID vaccine have kept more than 18.5 million people in the US out of hospitals and saved more than 3.2 million lives. Since the COVID-19 vaccine distribution began in the US, more than 610 million doses have been administered. According to my data, 69% of the total population have been fully vaccinated, and about 74 people had received at least one dose of the vaccine. Now that I have given you the introduction of my project, let me explain about the purpose. The purpose of this project is to give us an idea of how many people have gotten partially or fully vaccinated. This is my data dictionary looks like. As you see, I have my main table, which is my Vax table, and some other dimension table, region and population, and also my date table and my measure table. When we go to my KPIs, as you can see, I have 5 main KPIs, and I have built this project based on this 5 main KPIs. And these are the Vax per month, which is the average number of people monthly vaccinated, fully vax percentage, which will give us the total number of people fully vaccinated divided by the total population, month over month vax percentage, day over day total vaccine distribution, and day over day people vax percentage. So this is my dashboard screenshot looks like. And now let's go to the dashboard and see how it works. As you can see from this dashboard, I have one slider on the top right, and this slider will cover from January 12, 2021 until August 10, 2022. And I have 2 line and stack column charts and 1 waterfall chart and shape map, and also my 5 main KPIs on the left side. And as you can see, we can analyze the data by region and months, by state and population, by region, by year and months, by state and population, by region, and also by Vax comparison on the left side by using the 4% KPIs. So every arrow, every green arrow will indicate that the vaccination is increasing, and the red arrow will indicate that the vaccination is decreasing. Let's test our theory. If we want to look at the data by region to see that the highest region, and we can click on the Northeast and see that the 77% of the total Northeast population got fully vaccinated. And also, if we want to see the data by state, we can click on, as an example, on Vermont and see that 83% of the total population got fully vaccinated, and this is the highest vaccination rate from other states. And the men's over men's vax percentages got dropped, like you see right here, 63.42%. All right. Let's talk about the positive and negative insight of this analysis. As you can see, we can take men's over men's vax percentage and see on March 2021. As you can see, on March 2021, 83.25% increased by on March 2021, the vaccination rate. The men's over men's vaccination rate increased by 83.25%. On the total of 49 million individuals got fully vaccinated, and this is 123% above the nationwide, which is average of 22 million. When we see the negative insight, we can take the fully vaccine percentage. In most states, the fully vaccination percentage got dropped, got slowed or decreased, and especially states like Wyoming and Alabama. As you see, Wyoming is 51% and Alabama got 52% respectively, and this is the lowest rate, and it will make it negative insight. And as you see, after April 2021, the fully vaccination got decreased. The number is decreased, and from May 2021 until August 2022, the vaccination decreased by 10% to 1%. And as I mentioned earlier, after April 2021, the vaccination decreased, and the reason for this is the false information in the rumors are spread throughout the world, would persuade many people to skip the vaccination and the vaccination shot. And additionally, rural residents are more likely. Rural residents are less likely to be vaccinated against COVID-19 and than urban residents. At the end, I do have some. Recommendation. Together we can achieve more. So please do your part by getting vaccinated, and especially for those states who are behind on their vaccination, they should double down the attempts to get more people vaccinated. And if you travel, please wear high quality mask and keep your social distancing and avoid crowds. And if you are travel, please wear high quality mask and make sure you know your results before you travel. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you.
Everybody take yourselves off of mute and give Helen a woo woo.
Good job,
All
Helen.
right. Do we have any questions for Helen?
Yes, Ellen, thank you for the presentation. It's very instructive. I would like to learn from you. Can you show us the state where the vaccination is more high, and the state where is less, and the middle?
Okay, so you're saying that the highest region, the highest state, Vermont is the highest vaccination rate. It has 83% people got vaccinated, the fully vaccination, and the lowest is Wyoming. Like I said earlier, it's 51%. Is that, did I answer your question?
What is in the middle? What state is at the middle?
The middle one is Georgia, 55%.
Okay. What about California?
California is 75%. 4%.
Okay, and it dropped.
Yes, the men's over men's wax is dropped, but the fully vaccination is 74%.
Okay.
Can I add on this question, please?
Yeah.
Did you finish, Jane? I'm sorry. Did you finish?
Yes, I finished. I learned what I
Oh,
wanted. Yeah.
thank you. Helen, I'm also very pleased to hear how you made such a good presentation on this complex issue. However, in your map, you have a legend below the map, low to high.
Mhm.
Your color band describes that low is going from white to blue. And I was wondering why California should be deep blue and should be high, but I don't know why it is not high or the highest. In fact, you know, if you see the color, it's a deep color.
Yeah.
Highest.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah. Why is that? So I was wondering about that. You know, you said Vermont is the highest, which is white.
Yeah.
According to the legend, Vermont must be the lowest.
Yeah, so what I did is for this one, I did the state and by state in the population, and the measure. I mean the scale is what the scale is. I just took the screenshot and put the, so that's why it doesn't show the color saturation.
So this is about the density of population, or simply
Yes.
population by region.
Yes.
But
By state.
By state, but it could be misleading, you know, because you're talking about vax or vaccination, but the legend should be about vaccination.
I will correct that one. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right.
I have a question.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you. That's a really good job. I really like this presentation. I just have one question. I could see vax comparison here in this chart, and I could see the green, the red, and the blue color. What are we comparing here? What's the comparison?
So the comparison is by using this the left side percentage, the measures which is the fully vax, the men's over men vax, and the day over day, and the daily day over day daily vax percentage. So if we click on the in every state, or we can use the slider, and so I just want to show the comparison, which one is going high or which one is going low.
What do you mean? Which one? Which are those?
Those are the KPIs on the left side, as you see, the full vax percentage and the men's over men's vax percentage, and the everyday total distribution, the everyday daily vax percentage. Those are my percentage KPIs. So I just give a name for the vaccination comparison, just to show which, I mean, when I use the slider, it will show, it will go up and down, you know. So that's what I'm talking about.
Good feedback, good feedback. Let's keep it moving. Next up, we have Safa. So Helen, you can stop sharing. We're gonna get our jam on, and then Safa, when I stop.
Awesome, the Christian and Christian Dior. Damn, they don't make them like this anymore. I ask, cause I'm not sure. Do anybody make real?
Hello, everyone. My name is Safa, and today I will be presenting housing sales in London between the years 2002 and 2018. So as we know, London is a city that has been growing for almost 2,000 years. There is a huge diversity of houses there. We can find different types of properties that can suit almost all the budget. However, the housing market in London was strongly impacted by the huge economic crisis in 2008. So the houses price were drops of almost 16%, which is a huge loss for homeowners, real estate companies, and community banks. So in this report that I have developed, I try to analyze and visualize the data that I got it from a data set centered around the housing market in London. So the data gives us information about the number of houses sold, the price, the number of jobs available in each area, and also the number of crime registered in each region. So based on the data, we can discover many facts that can affect the housing market, like the crimes, jobs opportunities there. Of course, there are so many other facts that can directly or indirectly impact the housing market, like the interest rates and the school districts. However, in this report, and depending on the data that I have, I decided to show how the crimes and jobs opportunities affect the housing markets in each area in London. So many studies have shown a clear link between the unemployment rate in UK cities and the real estate market. As we can see here in this chart, so the charts represent the UK houses price analysis. The houses price against unemployment trend analysis. And the data represented is between the years 1980 and 2010. So as we can see here, there is a strong relationship between the unemployment and the houses price. So whenever the unemployment goes down, the houses price goes up and vice versa. Same thing for crimes. I believe no one would choose to buy a house in a crime-ridden area. Therefore, high level of recorded crime will affect the demand of the houses in the affected area, which will definitely lower the property price. And I want to notice here, if you are in the market to buy a house, make sure that the data that you are looking at is updated, because things change with months and years. For example, here in Dallas, where I live, there are so many counties that used to be cheap to live in because of the bad reputation based on the crimes and school districts. However, the last 6 to 10 years, things change, and the data shows low crime rate and more jobs opportunities. So in my dashboard, I have created 4 visuals that shows the sales over the year, the quarter, and the month, and also shows the sales by each region and identify how the sales is changing depending on the average price, the crime year over year, and the jobs year over year. So the reports will help the real estate companies to get a better understanding and a good analysis on how the market is doing over the years in each area in London. So based on the data, I decided to come up with the KPIs that focus mainly on the sales, like the total sales, which provide the visibility across the entire sales performance. I have created also the sales per month, sales year over year, average price, price year over year, crime per month, crime year over year, jobs per month, and jobs year over year. So with all these KPIs, the business will get a good and a clear vision on how the total sales is performing and how the house's price is changing in each area, with which will help the real estate to take the good decisions. So this is my data dictionary. I have here 2 tables, the yearly variable and the monthly variable. And I have created the calendar table to be able to came up with the mini time intelligence calculation. So this is my dashboard. As you can see here, I have 9 KPIs, as I mentioned before. I have put here the year slicer in the top left, so the end user can slice and that's the data. Also, I have 4 visuals. As I said before, I have a line bar charts, which represent the sales by year, quarter, and month. And also, I have included the sales year over year, the lines, the following slides, which is the sales year over year, price year over year percentage, crime year over year percentage, and jobs year over year percentage, to be able to compare them and see how they're doing over the time. So for the scatter charts, each bubble represents a region. And as we go far to the right, we have the highest sales that was marked. And as we go up, far up, we have the highest sales year over year that was registered. So the size of the bubble represents the price, and the color reflects the crime year over year. So the darker the bubble, the highest crime year over year. So when it comes to the map, the bubble represents, the size of the bubble represents the sales per month. And I have made the color reflect the sales year over year. So for my waterfall charts, these charts allowed us to compare all the year over year KPIs that I have in my reports. So from these reports, I have some negative and positive insights to take off. So for my negative insights, as we can see in 2008, the sales year over year has decreased by 51%, which is the highest decrease registered between the years 2002 and 2018. So the regions Barking and Dagenham and Lewisham was the regions that has recorded the highest decrease compared to the previous year. So coming to my positive insights, in 2006, the market has registered the highest increase for sales year over year by reaching 34%. So Hackney region was the region that has registered the highest sales by reaching 49% compared to 2005, where was only 20%. So after analyzing the data, I have some suggestions to the real estate companies. So based on the data, there is a strong connection between the sales year over year and the jobs year over year. Therefore, I suggest to the real estate companies to invest more in the regions where there are more opportunities for jobs. Also, the sales is clearly related to the price. So whenever the sales goes up, the price goes up. So I suggest to the businesses to take the price as an indicator for the sales. And finally, the data have shown that there is a direct impact of the crime on the sales and the price. So when the crime year over year decrease, the sales year over year increase. So I suggest to the businesses to invest more in the regions where there are low crime rates. So that's all what I have for this presentation. Thank you for your attention and for listening. Thank you.
All right, everybody take your cells off of mute and give her a woo, woo.
Whoa,
All right,
Fabian, you can come in.
questions.
On your chart, there are two of them that you give same name, sales by region, sales by region. Is there a reason why you did that?
This is a scatter chart, and this one is a map chart. Each one represents, for example, here in the map, I have presented the bubble to take the sales per month. I presented here the sales per month for each region. However, in the scatter charts, the bubble, so the bubble represents the intersection between the sales year over year and the sales per month. So each bubble is the projection of the sales year over year and the sales per month. But in the map, the bubbles represent only the sales per month for each region.
Probably you can just add that little details to it, sales by region, probably by month, then sales by region, probably by year, so that people can make distinction between the two. Without you telling me, how am I going to know that this is what this one is talking about? It's just an input.
Yeah, I understand your question. I will make these changes in the dashboard. Thank you so much.
Safa, this is also a very good presentation.
Thank you.
My question is, you said in 2006, the percentage of sale increased, right?
Yes, decreased in 2006. Yeah, increased. Yeah,
increased.
Right.
Yeah, you said it
yeah,
has
you're right.
It has increased. Now,
Yeah.
I was waiting you to say something in relation to crime and job opportunity during that time. How were they? Are they increasing or decreasing during this time in 2006 when the housing sale percentage has increased?
Okay, so for 2006, as you can see here in the bubble reflects a light color. That means that when the sales is increasing, the colors of the bubble, they're like not very dark. They're lights. They have a light color. That means that the crime year over year is low. So whenever the cells increase, the color of the bubble, they're like having a light color, light red. And if you go to the negative insights here, as you can see here in 2008, the bubble, they're like very, very, very dark. That's why when the cells decrease, the color of the bubble, they're like very dark. Yeah, did I answer your question?
You only described about how the bubbles are moving and brought the increase or decrease in sales percentage. I was trying to understand how this increase in sales percentage affected crime and job opportunity. I was to say, as crime increases, earlier in the introduction, you said as crime increases, sales of homes decreases because nobody wants to go and buy there, right? The demand and the supply will be, disturbed in there. Similarly, job opportunity will also become lower when there is a decrease in percentage of houses. But here the data shows that in 2006, there was an increase in the percentage of sales. So I was expecting probably crime rate might have decreased. And job opportunity has also increased because more and more people are moving towards where the jobs could be found. That was my assumption. But I didn't see from your data about this. I think if you also include this, it would be really very nice. The relationship.
Okay, I will. I will enhance it. Thank you so much for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Safa. Thank you for the questions. Let's keep it moving. Next up, we have Bandana, who's going to be talking about world suicide cases.
I know shorty and she doesn't want no slow song. Had a man last year, life goes on. Haven't let the thing loose, girl, in so long. You been inside, know you like to lay low. I've been people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vandana Shrestha, and today I'm going to present my dashboard, which is regarding the world suicide cases. I'm taking into consideration the time frame from 1985 to 2015. Talking about suicide, when we hear this term, it's like it's a feeling, it's filled with a lot of frustration, pain, stress, as you all can see on the screen also, like the compilation of all this term, depression, hopelessness, all these finally leads to suicide. Talking about suicide, it's when people harm themselves with the goal of ending their life. Death by suicide is complex. It's an extremely complex issue that causes pain to thousands of people every day, every year, or all around the world. The World Health Organization estimates that each year approximately 1 million people die from suicide, representing a global mortality rate of 16 people per 100,000, or 1 death every 40 seconds. Suicide today is most prevalently among the elderly population. Today's my dashboard, it represents the year-wise suicide number classified in terms by countries and various age group. This is my data dictionary. On the left hand side, as you all can see, I have 1 fact table and 2 dimension table. I have created a measure to create a calendar table in order to measure my time dimension, and on the right hand side you can see my sample of my data sets. Now let's move to my dashboard. As you all can see my dashboard, I have created a slicer over here. So that slicer that is on the basis of year and country wise. User has capability to choose a particular year to see all those numbers. And on the left hand side, I have piled up my KPIs, which are the suicide by 100K population, suicide year-over-year percentage, the average number of suicide, and suicide versus population. In my dashboard, I have created 5 visual. Among them, I have categorized the suicide numbers on various categories. As you can see on my first visual, I have categorized the number of suicide on the basis of several continents and the country wise. Here you can see on the visual on my first visual, as you all can see, Europe has the highest number of suicide cases in comparison to other continents, and the Africa has the lowest number of suicide during that time frame of 1985 to 2015. Further, I can drill down this visual so that I can categorize my suicide number on the basis of country wise. Let's move to my next visual, which is over here. This is the line and bar chart. The bar chart represents the suicide numbers, and the line chart represents the suicide year-over-year percentage. Here, let's talk about for the year of 1988. The year-over-year percentage for 1988 in comparison to previous year is negative 4.59%. Then the next year, if we look for the year of 1989, the suicide year-over-year percentage rose over to 32.40%. It's an high increase in suicide year-over-year percentage. So this I have mentioned as negative insights. And moving forward to my other third visual, it's the categorization of suicide numbers on the basis of age group. With this visual, we can easily see the age group of 75 plus years has the highest number of suicide among all other age group. And moving forward to my this scatter plot diagram, this is the comparison of suicide with that of population. Here you can see the bubble represents the number of suicide cases. You all can see the Russian Federation has the highest number of suicide cases during that time frame. And the other countries have, like you all can see, these are the data regarding the suicide numbers. And moving forward to my other chart, it's a location wise categorization of suicide numbers. Here you can see Europe has the highest number of suicide in comparison to all other continents. Further, I can drill this down to see on the basis of various country wise. Here's all the numbers of suicide cases categorized on the basis of several countries. Now moving back to my presentation, this is my insight which I got from my dashboard. As I explained earlier, I have said in my first visual that comparing among the continent, Africa has the lowest number of suicide in comparison to other continent. How I know this is like comparing the average suicide rate during that time frame. As you can see, the average suicide rate during that time frame was 13.4 per 100K population for Africa, while all around the world it was 243.4. So while comparing all among other continents, I find Africa has lower suicide number in comparison to other continents. And regarding negative insight, I have taken into consideration the time frame of 1989, which I explained on my while presenting my dashboard. I knew this, like the suicide was increased by 32.40%, while in the previous year it was decreased by 4.59%. Now, yes, while doing all this and collecting the dashboard, I encountered a lot of challenge, like finding the suitable KPIs representing my dashboard, cleaning and data transformation, cleaning all those datas, and creating DAX formula. Yes, there was a challenge while preparing all this dashboard. While looking all those dashboard, I have come up with a certain suggestion, suicide. The first one is comparing the data. Suicide is neither a personal failure nor the evidence of mental illness, but rather it's a common response to difficult environment factor and emotional pain. So therefore, I suggest improving life circumstances, enhancing social connection, and reducing emotional pain are the most effective ways to reduce frequency and intensity of suicidal thoughts and feelings. And as per the data, I came up to know that with an increase in age, there is more tendency for suicide. The main reason for elderly suicide are mainly loneliness, grief over the lost loved one, chronic illness. Therefore, I suggest involving elderly people in activities, helping them to connect with other people, and emotional support from family would help to overcome the suicidal tendency. And as per the data, Russian Federation hold the world's top place for the number of suicide committed. The main region where unemployment, low socioeconomic status, undiagnosed or untreated mental illness, social deprivation, economic depression. So as per the research, therefore, I suggest that raising awareness, reducing stigma around suicide, and well-informed encouraging action can help in instance of reducing the suicide. Besides that, there are certain global foundation and NGOs like Movever Foundation that helps in frequently spreading awareness regarding mental health, that helps in reducing the suicide cases also. So this was all about my presentation for today. Always say no to suicide and choose to keep going. Thank you all.
All right, everybody take yourselves off of mute and give her a woo woo. All right, fantastic. Good job, Bandana. All right, we're keeping it moving. Next up, we have Josiah talking about crimes in LA or LAPD.
This is what you came for. Lightning strikes every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you.
Well, hello, my name is Josiah, and my project is the LAPD violent crime analysis from 2010 to 2022. So in this project, we look at the violent crime in one of the largest cities in the United States to see if we can see any trends or issues that arise. So to start, Los Angeles is the home of approximately 4 million residents with a police force with approximately 10,000 sworn officers. Now, these officers patrol an area encompassing 468 square miles in 21 police districts. Now, in my dashboard, we're going to be looking at violent crimes that are committed within that time frame. So this is going to be just a brief, recap of my dashboard itself. My main filter on my dashboard is, of course, the year. We can take a look at anywhere from 2010 up until 2022. My charts on my dashboard are going to be, of course, the map of the precincts that we can filter it on by each precinct. And then, of course, it'll filter in the data itself. And then it'll show in terms of this one right here, this is going to be a violent crime for the year itself by month. KPIs, I'm going to kind of go over here in a few moments. Down here is going to be the criminal code, which is going to be the code itself. That would be the crime, which would be like robbery or like homicide or rape or domestic violence. That would be these right here. And in this chart over here at the bottom, this is going to show you the time frame in terms of when those events occurred. So let's take a look at the full year and want to check and see time frame from, let's say, 6 to 9 p.m. and we want to look at robbery and just see year-over-year percentage of that. It'll kind of filter our data down based on that information. And that's what this dashboard is able to do. Based on that, we can look at it, of course, per month and then per district. All right. So for that dashboard, it gives us an idea of the amount of violent crimes that happen in a given period, not to mention the violent crimes that the regular calls that a police officer will have, as well as, like I said, the non-violent crimes. So this data shows the unsolved cases, which can have a drastic impact on a community as well. So to create this report, I connected to 2 different data sets, the main data set and the legacy data. Then I transferred my data and created a star schema data set to begin creating my visualizations. Now, the first thing I needed to create was my KPIs, which is what we're going to kind of go over now. So for the first one, we had my violent crime, which is going to be the count of the actual violent crimes itself. And that's, of course, filtered out by the year itself. And then I included a violent crime on a per day basis, and then a violent crime on a year-over-year percentage. Now, this is, of course, looking at each year and the previous year in terms of how it increases or decreases by month. And then the unsolved crime on that same percentage. And then the last was, of course, unsolved violent crime year-over-year percentage to kind of see the trend of the actual unsolved cases from the previous year as well. So now with this information, I was able to spot positive and negative insights in this data. So for the positive insight, found that there was a downtrend of unsolved cases of intimate partner aggravated assault cases, where in some districts, there was a 100% close rate for the year of 2013. Then for my negative insight, I was showing an increase of unsolved rape cases in 2022, where there was a high of 77% of unsolved cases. So the main question is, how does this report help us? Like, what's its purpose? Well, in 2009, the LAPD had an approval rating of 77%. The citizens of LA believed that their police department, that they believed in their police department, that they could protect and serve them as their motto suggests. Now, today, that approval rate is down at an all-time low of 30%, which is lower than the approval rating after the Rodney King fiasco. So what happened? How did they lose the confidence of their residents? Well, for starters, the George Floyd incident in Minnesota changed America's view of police and caused a massive movement for defunding the police. And for the officers of the LAPD, they now had to police a city that thought of them as the enemy. And the residents were scared every time they saw an officer because they now thought of them as killers. So the animosity between police and the citizens was palpable. So what effect did that have? Well, ABC7 did a report in July of last year that showed the number of murders committed in the first 6 months to see a trend in LA. So I took that and I kind of ran with it and created a sub-report. And so with that, I was able to dive into the specifics of the data, and it brought me to a story. So I want to talk about a man by the name of Randy Galvin. So Randy Galvin was a proud father who took pride in his son. However, Randy had to experience something that no father should ever have to. On December 7th of 2021 at around 3:30 p.m., Randy's son Jeremy was out front of his school, where witnesses say he got into an altercation with an unknown suspect, which resulted in Jeremy being shot and killed. Now, police were on a foot patrol in the area and arrived on the scene almost instantaneously within minutes of the incident happening. And there they found Jeremy unresponsive, and then shortly after had to pronounce him dead at the scene. There have been no suspects arrested, and the resolution for Randy, no resolution for Randy. So this is just one case of many where there was a crime that happened that goes unsolved. Did the police not do their job? The response time to the shots was almost immediate. So why was this case unsolved? So my thoughts are that people are afraid to talk to the police, both from a standpoint that they're afraid of them and also because they're afraid of the people that committed the crime. So there was another incident that happened involving a 12-year-old boy not 24 hours prior who was shot and killed, where he was in a vehicle with his mother. She survived, whereas the boy, Alexander Alvarado, did not. That incident happened on December 6th of 2021. On September 30th of 2022, the police made an arrest of two individuals. They were the two individuals for that crime. It took them almost a year to have enough evidence to make an arrest. So if the police cannot get information from the public, they can't solve cases. If the public views the police as killers, they're not going to talk to them. I think this is one of the biggest issues I see, is the reason that the unsolved crime rate. Another reason I found was that the district attorney for Los Angeles has a soft on crime mentality, where they let criminals out on bail or fail to charge them. Now, granted, this would be regarding non-violent offenses. This, however, makes it difficult for the police to administer the law, because if a suspect who trespasses or steals never goes to court, then why should the police stop and investigate cases where this occurs? If they stop policing and enforcing the law, then the public loses faith in the police. And unfortunately, that's where we are at. So with this data, I would utilize my dashboard along with a solid dashboard to include officers on duty, routes they cover, et cetera, to show where there could be gaps of coverage and how to rectify that situation. As for the issue with the DA, unfortunately, this dashboard wouldn't be able to assist in how to correct that issue. And that is the summation of my dashboard or my report. Thank you very much for listening.
All right, everybody take yourselves off of mute and give them a whoop, whoop. All right, questions?
Yes, thank you, Josiah. I wish you can tell me, suppose you are in front of the police department director and he wants you to give him 3 advice to solve those cases. What do you tell him?
Well, the biggest issue would be unsolved cases. And so in a lot of situations, you're dealing with, let's say up in this Northern District, a lot of unsolved cases. In that situation, you're going to be asking yourself the question of, do they have enough officers? Do they have enough personnel on hand to handle the workload of these districts? Because in 2022, officers, nobody wanted to be a police officer, right? Because nobody wanted to have to unfortunately face down the fact that nobody wanted them around. They didn't want to have that service. And so in that instance, they're probably not having enough staff members, and that would be, or officers in the area. That would be one thing to look at is, how is your staff working? How is your officers on duty working in these areas? Do you need more assistance in these areas? That would be one situation, as well as then another in terms of gang-related issues. And one of my sub-reports were able to kind of pull into the gang-related violence to see if we need to have more officers again and a gang task force in those specific areas to stop crime. Because I would assume, and this is an assumption based on what I've seen, some of the issues and murders that happen to be not from gang violence to the individual, which would be like a civilian, but gang violence that's overflowed from like a rival gang to the actual civilians, which is like kind of spillover of that violence. Do we need to have a task force to kind of assist with that? That would be another question I would ask to see how that's looking. And then I would guess, do we need to switch up in terms of when the officers are going to have a heavy workload? I know we do, like, from my understanding, they do like a partner team in the evenings, but we need to have like a partner team with multiple officers on duty, especially since, as you can see in my dashboard, a lot of the crime happens between 6 p.m. and 3 a.m. Do we need to switch over the actual coverage between those specific times? Do we need more officers during those time frames? Those would be the questions I would ask the director to see if that would have some kind of influence or balancing out of the issues that are happening based on this dashboard.
Yes, thank you. I have a last question.
Okay.
Yes, from your dashboard, can you show us how you can, in the future, suppose in 2025, someone want to use this beautiful work you just done, and he want to insert data, update, and visualize. How do you proceed? Have you think about that?
If they need to update so in this dashboard, this is going to unfortunately be looking at historic data. So it's not going to be able to look for like trends in the future, because unfortunately, nobody really can think of the criminal mind, right? But if you were looking to upload this data in terms of adding to it, it would be adding in the new data and then making sure that it falls into these same categories. Because anytime you're going to be getting this information, it's dealing with like the report data, which is going to be like a report number, where it happened, where it occurred, et cetera, et cetera. All that information would then still feed into this with the new information, and then it would just increase the actual time frame itself, because this isn't based off of like a specific set of time. This is actually based off of the data itself, the max amount of data and the minimum amount of data. So like in terms of like a max and min date. So if we added more information to it, more data to this, then the max date would of course extend out to the new max date. So they could utilize this dashboard and actually feed into it new data, and then it would just expand based on the time frame, because the data itself can be added to it.
Okay, thank you. Great job.
Thank you.
Right, awesome. We got one more person left. Ayo Deji, you are next. So let's get our jam on. And once we stop sharing, it's all yours.
Nobody pray for me. It been a day for me. Yeah, yeah. Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances. Finesse a nigga with some counterfeits, but now I'm counting this. Parmesan where my accountant lives. In fact, I'm down in this. You say with my boo-babe tastes like Kool-Aid for the analyst. Girl, I can buy your Westie world.
All right, let's do it. We got one more person left, and then we're going to get our vote. Everybody's going to get a chance to vote on their top person. It's been some great presentations. I've been thoroughly impressed and enjoying the stories, right? when we first started the cap competition, let me tell you, the stories were pretty whack, all right? But we continue to improve. We continue to put tools in front of them so they can help get better. And I'm loving the progress. Don't they sound so educated on their subjects? They're telling the story and it's entertaining. And that's exactly what we want. So we got one more person and then we're going to do our vote and then we're going to end this thing off. All right. So, Ayodeji, it's all yours.
My name is Olawoye Ayodeji. I'm here to present this project today, which is wine price regression in Spain. The reason I'm doing this project is because I'm somebody that I'm always curious. So I've been looking for whatever there is an advantage, always have a disadvantage. So I have this curiosity about red wine. So I've been looking for what is really particular about red wine. And I find this online, and that make me really want to do this project that said the best red wine produces an intense effect on the body which can kill bacteria present inside the body. There's a lot to red wine, which is the importance of the red wine, that red wine can prevent cancer, can prevent antioxidant, and there are many things that are good benefits to red wine. So, and all what I've been reading about red wine, it's proven and medical proven that red wine is good for body, and not all the red wine have alcoholic. Like there are some of them that's 100% grape, non-alcoholic. And what make a red wine? Red wine is made from grapes, and it's all natural. When I'm doing my research and continue my project, I see that in Spain, because I get data for Spain. So in Spain, they consume the red wine is part of their lifestyle, and every household include red wine in their meal per day. So, and what makes the red wine special, and how do we get the good red wine, or is it because of the price, or is it because of the type? So, review or how people rate the red wine. So when I come to my KPI, which is when I look into the data I have, I use the DAX to bring out the KPI, which I use average price, price year over year, average rating, rating year over year, average review, and the count of region, which region the wine comes from. So when I get to my KPI, I use that to bring out the KPI, which is I use average price for my KPI, and price year over year, average rating year over year, average review, and count of region. The data that I have only have one dimension, which is wine spa. So I create a date table and I match the date table with the original data, because the data is as old as since 1910, or more than that. So the only year I needed is 2016 to 2021. So I extracted the year that I needed, and I used the date table to bring the data to life. So those, one of the challenges I have is creating calendar table, which I have mentioned. And when I come to when I bring out my dashboard, and when I filter the data, I discovered that in the 2019, the price of wine in Pedro Jimenez is increased to 199%, which is a positive insight compared to 2018. So this is my GIF for my positive insight. If we look at this from here, the price go up from 2018 to 2019, which is good. And my negative insight is that in 2021, the price decreased, the price fall to 93%, which is not a good thing for the price for the market. So if we look at it from here, this is my GIF for the negative insight. From here, the price goes up, but when we compare this is the last year of the data, and the price fall to 93%, which is negative, not good. So I have a suggestion for the either the price wineries or the price seller, that okay, since the data show that price at 22 to 0.441 between 2018 to 2019, and average price for wine, Pedro and Jimenez and other segments are significantly higher than others. And the price dropped 12% in Pedro in 2018 at 17.50, an average price for wine Pedro Jimenez. Therefore, so I suggest that wineries should always analyze whether the price is worth for the product and the return for the cost. Or the wineries should also put their competitors' reactions into consideration in their decision making and price design for their industry, profitability, and to be able to withstand the competitors. And I suggest wineries should always consider price war with their competitors. The data shows price increased 18% on average, price at 21.95 for wine, Vadeo in 2020, and other segments are significantly higher than others. This indicates that the price decreased 93% on average price at 6.26 for wine Vadeo in 2021, and other segments significantly higher than others. This indicates that there is price war and competitions. Therefore, I suggest a winery should assess what value the consumer place on their products and think about how their consumer will value their products, rating and review before they determine the price. And I suggest price monitoring for the product. So monitor price, realize at the consumer's level, and to maintain standard more profit. So this is the end of my presentation.
All right, everybody take yourselves off of mute and give them a woo woo. All right, so for the sake of time, we're gonna go ahead and move straight to the poll, okay? Kofi, we're gonna pop that poll up in just a second. You get one vote and one vote only. Vote for your best. The top. Move on. All right. You guys ready to see this? This is crazy results. Crazy. Jackie, what they win? What's the prizes?
The first person will be winning $50 and then $25 for the second and the third person.
All right. You guys see the results? Helen, our winner with 30%. But then look, there's a two-way tie for second and third place at 25%, Safa and Josiah. All right, followed by Bandana and Ayo Deji. So awesome job. Ayo Deji, real quick.
But
Tell
Ali,
us what this process was like for you.
Ali,
Yeah.
but we should vote again for Safa and Josia because they have the same amount.
Oh, but they both get the same prize and they both move on to the Data Talent Showcase. So I don't know if we'd be accomplishing anything. All right, Ayo Deji.
Yes, sir.
What has this process been like preparing for the presentation?
This is my first presentation. I'm still I try to compose everything, but one way or the other, I don't get it the way I think I want to present it.
All right, so you see some areas you can improve in by looking at the other presentations, right?
Yes.
So that's what this is about. It's about improving across the board, everybody. And even the people that aren't even at CAP program yet, you can look at this. You can see what good presentations look like, what doesn't go as well, right? So then you can keep that in mind, because once you see something, it's easier to replicate, right? I could try to teach you how to make a great presentation, but there's nothing like watching one. Bandana, what was this preparation like for you?
Oh, yeah, the preparation was really like hard. I was like wondering, it's like, how can I do a presentation? But yeah, at least I tried, and that's a good thing for me.
Awesome, awesome. And we just continue to improve. That's what we do. All
Yeah.
right, Safa,
Yes, Ali.
what was this like preparing for you?
Yeah, it was a great experience. I practice a lot, and it took me from my comfort zone. And I'm really glad that I took the challenge and I did it. Thank you so much for everyone.
Awesome. Josiah,
Yes, sir.
what's this process been like for you?
Interesting. Going through it and listening to everybody else, there's things that, like, I look at my presentation, there's definitely some room for improvement on my presentation. Things to make sure I convey better. So always a learning experience going through these.
Fantastic. And our winner, Helen.
Yes, Ali.
What was it like preparing for the presentation?
I tried my best. I was really super nervous. That's why earlier I couldn't locate to California. My mind was a lot of places. I couldn't even concentrate. I was really scared, and I'm too shy person, especially on camera. And this is my first time, and I couldn't even think that I win this presentation, but thank you for the opportunity. And I just came here to develop my confidence since I'm on the interview process right now. So like I said, thank you so much.
I don't know. Are you guys hiring her? I think somebody need to give her an offer. She was nervous, but she held her own, right? And that's what going to the interview is about. Like, everybody understands that an interview is a nerve-wracking situation. The hiring managers know that, and then the people doing the interviews know that. Everybody's understanding that, okay? But it's about how you perform in pressure type situations. All right, we had 80 people on tonight. Most CAP competitions, we have 100 people. That can be very nerve-wracking. That's a lot of people watching you, judging you, looking at every mistake you make, right? And then sitting there. And to be able to overcome that will help give you the confidence that you need to knock it out the park when it really counts. And that's in the interview. All right, that concludes our first CAP competition of the year. But You know for sure, first Wednesday of every month, we back up in this thing. Okay, we're gonna have another cap competition for you in February. We're gonna have our data talent showcase the last Thursday of the month. We're gonna see our top 3 contestants compete in front of hiring managers and do their thing there. Thank you guys for joining, and we are out.
Right, I want y'all to see this. Turn up the lights in here, baby. You know what I need. Want you to see everything. Want you to see all of the lights. Restraining order.
You guys still here? Go home. Go home. Log off. We are done. Get out of here.